Live from the Bay Area's news station, this is the KRON-4 Morning News.
And we're back at 9:09. Well, there is evidence Toyota's massive safety recalls are affecting consumer interest and driving down resale prices. A survey released by Kelley Blue Book found that 27% of car buyers who were considering buying Toyota before the recalls are no longer interested in purchasing one. And of that group, nearly half of them said they're not even sure they'll consider buying from Toyota again. Kelley Blue Book estimates the resale value of Toyotas affected by the recall will drop an additional 1.5%. Now, that's on top of the 1 to 3% decline forecast this just last week.
And joining us this morning to talk about this is Stephanie LaCrosse of Honk.com, which is a website that's all about cars. And Stephanie, what are you hearing from people who are going online about Toyota?
Well, it depends. We have about 4 different groups of people that we're seeing on our site. So the first group, we have the Toyota haters. And so they've never supported Toyota, and they're kind of happy to see Toyota fail.
Okay.
And they didn't believe, they thought Toyota was too good to be true. Then we have the owners, and we have 2 camps of owners. And one camp is really, they're die-hard Toyota supporters. So they'll talk about all of the Toyota vehicles they've owned, the durability, the reliability, and so they're sticking by Toyota. And then you have this other camp of Toyota owners, and they're feeling really kind of betrayed and scared. And so I think for those folks, it's really important that dealers reach out to them because they're on the fence, and as you said, not really sure if they're considering buying Toyota again.
And which is the 4th camp?
The 4th camp are the folks that wanted to buy a Toyota, and they're just kind of sitting tight and waiting. Yes.
Which camp is the largest at this point?
Well, the people that have the loudest voice are obviously the extreme people.
Complainers.
So we have a lot of lovers and a lot of haters on our site.
So Stephanie, did you start to see, because you've been taking this temperature for a period of time, did you already see the complaints come in before this became as big a crisis as it did?
Yeah, we posted a couple blog entries right when this happened, and immediately we saw responses, and they were the extreme responses. So, and then since then, now it's more people are reaching out to understand really what they should do. So folks that are affected by this recall, they're reaching out to other folks like them to get advice on what they should do, what types of things they should look for, does their vehicle qualify for the recall, those types of things.
Well, the people who are on the fence and they're trying to figure out whether they should buy a Toyota or not, that obviously is a crucial group for Toyota and for the automotive industry, Toyota's competitors as well. What are you hearing from them?
Well, I think those people, it's an interesting time just in our country in general because there's not much you can depend on. So Toyota was one of those things that you could depend on. And so I think these people are feeling like, they want their Toyota back. They want that trusted brand. And so I think it's very, very important for Toyota to reach out and maybe even be proactive and call those folks and let them know, here is the process, here's what we're going to do for you, here's how we're taking care of you, we're taking responsibility. But they were pretty shooken up by the fact that Toyota denied the recall or denied the issue, and
so it took Toyota long enough to turn the bad PR around. But what was fascinating is they seem to be pushing back now, because I saw these one-page ads for sales on Toyota, no interest, so on and so forth. So it's almost like they're ignoring this part of it and saying, come and buy a car.
They've moved forward.
Exactly. Well, Toyota still has a lot of great products out there, and so I think they have to get their sales. They can't just let this recall ruin their whole company. So I think they have to show that they're still manufacturing other quality cars and that they're taking responsibility and really taking action on the cars in the recall.
Well, the guarantee would be that they drive out of the showroom with a new car that's been fixed.
Exactly.
Well, so much of this is perception, on the part of the consumer, and the perception is that Toyota dropped the ball in dealing with this, and that now it's too little too late in the eyes of a lot of people. Are you hearing that from some folks as well, that they're turning their backs on Toyota and never going back? That they're just so angry about this?
Yeah, I think right now they're angry. We haven't really heard that we'll never buy a Toyota again, because Toyota is an interesting brand, right? They have 10 or sometimes for some people 20 years of continued quality. So when something like this happens, it's not like, you know, okay, this is the last straw with Toyota. Right. It's really, wow, this is very uncharacteristic of this brand.
Just like,
why did it happen? Right. What caused it? Whose fault is it? Right. And why did they communicate the way they did?
Because remember, Ford used to be fix or repair daily was the Ford thing, and now they've changed people's perception.
Yeah, and Ford really has a great advantage now. They have a lot of exciting products, and you know, for those folks that are on the fence, you know, it might be opening the door.
American car makers are seeing an advantage.
Well, it has been interesting to see how the American car dealers have jumped in with both feet to try and take advantage of this, and you're seeing all the commercials and the ads and all this. So
yeah, absolutely. So this is their time to really prove their own product.
Yeah. Stephanie LaCrosse of Honk.com. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate it. You just wanted to say Honk.
I love it. I love the name of that. I think it's very appropriate for what they do.